Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature. Learn, grow, and take charge of your retirement. This is the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast with financial advisor Bryan Gaiser, founder of Gaiser Financial Group.
It's been a couple of weeks since all of the dust got kicked up. Things have settled now, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of trillionaires. Did you ever think you would see the day where there was a trillionaire walking this planet? I mean, you've been doing financial advising for years and years. And here we are, Bryan.
You know, I just never thought about it. Because, I mean, but the first trillionaire, I'm not surprised either by who it is.
Right.
I mean, you talk about just Mr. Mind over Matter, if I can envision it, I'll make it happen. He truly is the definition of that.
Of course, we're talking about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah, and I know most people know that we are. And it's mind-boggling, really, what he has done. And him being the first one, I'm not surprised by that. I just never really thought about a trillionaire. And, you know, is he a trillionaire today and then tomorrow? I mean,
that's true.
You know, so many people think about that. I mean, when you pass couple of $100 million, you're probably good. You know, $100 million, it's going to be real hard to not spend all your money.
Yeah.
He's at $1 trillion.
Yeah.
That's, you know, he's at one, you're at one, you know, that's 1,000 billion.
Yep. I know.
Think about that.
And then you think about what a billion is.
It's 1 million.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's almost unfathomable, I think. Not almost. I think for most people to understand what a trillion really is, how much that really adds up to.
In 5 minutes,
it's
how much did you just make? More than you and I will ever see.
Just off the interest. It's wild. It's a wild phenomenon. Let's focus on what we, as you know, investors, as savers here in the Piedmont Triad, what it means for us, because the conversation around IPOs and SpaceX is one that's interesting. None of us can even begin to think about $1 trillion, but SpaceX, an IPO, and market investment and opportunities is something that interests us, even for those of us who are getting closer to retirement. So what if somebody is close to retirement and they want to buy into SpaceX or another IPO? Because, you know, OpenAI, I think, is another IPO that's projected to be record-breaking later this year, Bryan. And this is wealth manager Barry Ritholtz on Fox's Barron's Roundtable talking about it.
Historically, IPOs begin to underperform not long after the offering, and mega IPOs have a history of coming out of the box hot and then cooling off. There's no really earnings history. If you want to take a speculative gamble and roll the dice, go ahead. But, you know, there's a reason why the S&P 500 said we're going to wait a year to admit this. Let's make sure that the company really is ready for prime time. It's always hard to tell at an IPO level.
Okay, thinking about SpaceX or other IPOs that have been in the past, Bryan, or are yet to come. Have you had people coming in asking about this, the idea of chasing the next big thing,
out the gate,
wanting it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and just folks, you've had that same question. Let me just real quickly give you our number, 336-586-5861. That's 336-586-5861. Write that down. We'd love to sit down and visit with you. I know if you tune in each week, that's our goal, is to sit down with you and help you coordinate your retirement.
Yeah.
But with that in mind right there, I think the big thing here, Heather, is There's nothing wrong with buying into SpaceX. But what he says is so true because it shot up to about 204, and right now it's trading at about in the neighborhood of 150, 155 and bouncing around, obviously. But the point is that was it shot straight up parabolically, which the true traders know how to run something up, get you in. Had a gentleman call me just before it was, about to go public. And the day of, it was very hard to get in and get asset, get yourself to where you could buy some stock. It happened, but it took time. But the bottom line is a lot of them, he bought in at 207 and like 211 was the top. Now it's 150 something. So, and on 1,000 shares. And I was like, the bottom line, see, I don't do speculative for my clients. That's something they have to do. I'm a retirement specialist.
Right. You
should do that on your side because speculative just sits there. You don't want to pay someone for your assets to just sit there. And I explained to him, I said, very thing that Barry just talked about, you always have this skyrocket and then it drops. Take Facebook's, for instance, back in 2012, in May of 2012. I happened to be at Wall Street on that day and just by chance. And it wasn't the intent of being in New York, but that was part of the thing is touring Wall Street. And lo and behold, they were offered at 45 within a day or two. They were at 22, 23, 24. It took like a year and a half before it got back to its original IPO offering. So this could take a year and a half, 2 years. It might just sit there and run flat. It might pull back even more. Is it the time to buy now? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I'd say if it's a gamble, this is probably not a bad gamble. But then again, that's something you've got to determine. I'm not here offering advice from that standpoint, but I'd say this person's pretty successful under any feat that comes his way. So your chances are from a leadership standpoint, you're buying into a great leader, chances are there.
Okay.
But I mean, SpaceX, even if that person that it pulled back on the 207, well, today, what is Facebook? Today, Facebook's 550. So if you bought it in at 24, or you bought in at 45 and it dropped to 24, yeah, you lost about half your money. And then it came back. How much, if you just sat there, how much would you have today? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, that's just part of it. That's just part of it. And if you're allowing those dividends to reinvest. So, I mean, it really just, what we're talking about is speculative money. You've got to separate your speculative money from your retirement money.
Yeah.
Your speculative, when it does well and you sweep some off and over to your retirement bucket, and your retirement bucket's going to have growth, but it's long-term investing growth on solid companies, not speculating on certain companies. It's all about your income accounts that are very conservative that you're drawing off of. Maybe you have annuities that are going to, no matter what, if they run out of money, they're going to keep sending you a check. So the bottom line is if you just get income right, what you do is you take care of your income, your moderate growth, and your investment growth. And if you have some money left over and you want to put it towards some speculative stock, then do that. Do that stuff along the way. Take a little roll of the dice because you can lose that money. That should be money you can lose. And this gentleman that bought 1,000 shares over a period of time there, I mean, at one point he bought it 207. I don't know how many. He's going to be just fine.
Right.
But they were limiting you and all. There were so many variables that went with that. It's okay. But in due time, he will be okay. Folks, it's all about how you place your money. It's where you place your money, and it's understanding this money is for income. Well, you don't want to buy a SpaceX. You don't want to buy a Facebook. This money's for growth. Speculative, you still probably want to keep that out of your investment growth, your long-term thinking. Hey, in 5 or 10 years, I should do real well on these accounts. Those type of accounts you need in retirement, but that money's up here and is money you don't have to touch for a while. SpaceX might be a money that you don't have to touch for 15, 20 years, depending on how things go, right?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be less than that. So, folks, 336-586-5861. I think the key lesson to be learned here is how you look at these different assets. And some people just don't want any risk. You can believe they didn't even think about SpaceX.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And some people say, I can take some risk, but it's got to be in the moderate conservative. Well, there'll never be a speculative stock. There'll never be a new IPO that's in the speculative range. Does that make sense? So it's really understanding your money is what we're talking about, Heather.
Yeah. Well, That's what you're here, of course, to help folks figure out. As you're listening, if you have questions about market risk levels, things like IPO opportunities, reducing risk. Maybe you're saying, I don't want any risk when it comes to your retirement savings. There is a broad spectrum of perspective on this, working to help you create a plan that you are comfortable with, that you feel good about going into retirement is what Bryan and his team are here to help you figure out. The number to dial is 336-586-5861. 336-586-5861. You can give us a call to set a time on Bryan's calendar. Because when it comes to our risk, there are so many variables that are involved. But as something that we have talked about before many times, there is no perfect investment. You brought up people that want no risk at all. But the truth of the matter is, sitting in cash has its own risk when you're thinking about inflation.
Without a doubt. But do you want to shove money into a speculative environment, or do you want it into more of a, hey, this has good dividends, good value type stock that performs over the long haul? I've met with someone here. He's not a client, but I met with him. He was pretty much a do-it-yourselfer that really had his, he's retired, loved it and all that. Just want to sit down and talk about a few things because a couple of good friends of his are our clients.
Yeah.
And so I sat down with him for a little bit. And this gentleman back in the early IPOs of Walmart,
wow,
put $1,500 into Walmart and never another dime.
Wow.
And it's worth north of $5 million.
Wow.
See, that's early 70s. So think about that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, wow, is exactly right.
Yeah.
1,500. And back in the early 70s, okay, that's 15,000. It's not, but it's close to it, especially today. But 1,500, if you lost 15,000 and you're 23 years old, 24, 25, whatever it was, just fresh out of pharmacy school, I think you're going to be all right. And it was 1,500 that the drugstore he went to work for had given him that after 90 days. And he asked him, well, what would you put it in? And the guy happened to be from Arkansas. He said, well, there's this company out of Arkansas. You ought to buy Walmart.
Yeah. You may have heard of it. It's called Walmart.
And he was going, what is that?
Yeah.
No, actually, I was like, what? Even then, you see what I mean?
Have you seen fresh out of. Side note, real quick, have you seen the people posting all the people that have come over from Europe for a World Cup? All their Instagram posts
wonderful.
about Walmart and all these things. It's hilarious.
It's wonderful, and it's like hopefully our people will go, wow, they love it this much. What? Maybe I should focus on what's good, right? Hopefully, that's where our country is right now, folks. Really. Focus on what's good. And what's good is return the right way and knowing you have enough money throughout retirement to live the lifestyle you want. That number is 336-586-5861. Give us a call, sit down with you. We'll go over your big situation, if you will, your particular situation, put it into perspective for a more successful retirement.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast. To learn more, visit geiserfinancial.com. Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature.